Welcome to another CTV Sports presentation. CTV Sports is brought to you by St. Clair Chevy Buick GMC. We care. By Murphy Inn Restaurant and Hotel in St. Clair. By North Star Bank, North Star, guiding the way. By Neiman's Family Market. By St. Clair Home Goods and Ace Hardware. And by CTV, Community TV for Marine City and St. Clair.
Well, hello everyone. John Carter along with Coach Denny White, and very pleased to be bringing you tonight's ball game. St. Clair Saints looking to improve on their 2-0 record against the Eagles of Madison. And Coach, kind of coming into the heart of the schedule now as Saints take on a very good Madison team that's had success the last couple of years, and then Marysville next week.
Yes, Madison has a slew of skill position players. They've got speed and agility, and they have some pretty good athletes.
Well, we've had a little bit of a break here with weather. We were delayed for an hour, and so we'll be under the lights the whole way tonight, but it's turned into a very nice evening, and the Saints will, as we said, had a very good game last week against Hazel Park. Strong, particularly defensively, Coach.
I thought it was an excellent defensive game, and I thought there was a lot of running. I thought they emphasized the running, which they didn't do against Croslex, where they emphasized the passing game. So it just shows that they certainly are a highly skilled team.
And we're looking for at least one player back, as Saints had a number of injuries, but it looks like Max Zweihofer will be able to play this evening. He's dressed, and that's a big boost for the Saints offensive line. All right, as the clock ticks down, number 9, Sean Donaldson, will head towards the Saints' 40-yard line. He'll kick off, and last week, Coach, he had a couple of booming kickoffs.
He did it. It's not many times you go to a football game and like to concentrate on the kicker, but he's a show into and of himself. He kicks the ball a long way and very high.
They actually had at the end of the game, they tried, I think, about a 45-yard field goal. It didn't work out, but Sean has a leg for it, and you got to think some point this season that's going to be an important skill.
Absolutely, and I think you have to try those when you have the opportunity so that he gets comfortable with the situation.
All right, deep for Madison is Jamal Coleman, and I think number 8, Aaron McClure. There's the referee's whistle, and we're about to kick off. Donaldson, high, deep. That's going to go to number 6, that is, DeMarco, inside the 10. He cuts up and is tackled nicely at about the 16, 17-yard line. The Eagles will take over 1st and 10 on their own 17, and this is the advantage that Sean Donaldson brings in tough field position to start out their drive.
He kicks the ball a long way. That's a distinct defensive advantage.
And high. So the team can get under it.
Coverage gets down there.
All right, number 20, that's Jalen Logan, splits out wide.
And the Schweihofers are both in,
which is good news for St. Clair. Eagles line up in a pistol. Quick handoff coming our way, and a nice move up the field by number 21, Lewis Wallace, but there was a flag thrown by the referee, and he's indicating holding.
Yeah, that hold got 2.
So you can see, nice move here by 21, Wallace, getting outside, but you can see a guy actually literally tackled.
Nice tackle.
From behind, and when the referee throws that flag in the middle of the field, Coach, that's normally an indication.
Absolutely, and it occurred right in front of him.
Better yet.
Yeah.
All right, that'll make it, let's see, they'll move it back to, what's that, maybe the 8 or 9 yard line, and it'll be 2nd and about 19. Looks like number 3, Arman Williams, is the quarterback. He hands it off again to Wallace and quickly swallowed up by the St. Clair line. Looked like Schweihoffer and number 86, Josh Schmidt, who had a good game last week as defensive end.
He did.
That play.
We mentioned his name often last week. From both sides of the field, he was all over.
So 2 running plays so far by Madison and minimal gain. They're looking now at 2nd and 17. Yes, number 3, Armand Williams is the quarterback. He's a sophomore, and we've heard they graduated some very good players last year, Madison did, and they're going to be young this year.
A very talented team last year.
Another flag on the field. I think that was too much time. And that's one of the things you have when you have an inexperienced quarterback. That rhythm, the cadence, is tough to maintain.
Well, and you can see back here, the back judge is he raises his hand when there's 10 seconds left, and he counts off the last 5, and he's supposed to be there so the quarterback can be looking right at him, so things like that don't happen.
All right, that makes it 2nd and 23. The Eagles backed up, and Williams is standing in his own end zone, looking for the play over the middle. The ball is dropped after a good tackle.
Ethan White,
number 23 for St. Clair, came in and closed quickly.
Nice coverage, you'll notice here. Backs up. Here comes the ball. Closes. Nice. Perfect timing.
Good timing
really
there by
well done.
White, and a good throw, but just better defensive play. That'll make it 3rd and 23, and that's not what you want in your first series if you're Madison.
No, not particularly not from your own end zone.
And you got to wonder how risky they'll be at this point. Don't want to get too far down early here, and wouldn't be surprised to see a screen or a draw or something of that nature.
Yeah, they need to get some territory so they can punt. Whoa.
Pass over the middle, just led number 1. That was Mekhi Johnson, but just a little bit too long. Otherwise, he was open, and that could have been a big play.
He was open just a little, He's a little faster than Ethan thought he was, I think.
Watch here, number 1.
Ethan backs up, and then he's a little slow on the closing this time, where he was perfect last time. Yeah, it's a good thing that wasn't completed.
I think we have Corey Haney in deep punt formation. Low snap, but he gets it away nicely. And Schweiger down inside the 20. It's the 18, 16-yard line. And nice return that time. And Austin caught it on the run, which you'd love to see as a coach.
He's simply an outstanding athlete.
Again, pretty good punt out of the end zone all the way out to about the 40-yard line. Austin had a little trouble with the referee there for a second, but then just under control the whole way and gets what he can get and safely out of bounds. All right, Brady Gleason.
Good decision.
With, I believe, Ruba in the backfield. Schweiger in motion. Quite fakes to him. Steps up. Gleason's got a wide open field. And he's down inside the 10. Runs over a couple of people and is down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. And Brady is not a small quarterback by any means.
No, he's not. He's a fullback who.
And see, he steps up here nicely. Right there. And then there's nothing but green and white lines in front of him for about 30 yards. And watch at the end of the play.
Yeah.
Ouch. First down, St. Clair.
They don't fall this way.
All right, Saints have Ruba deep. Ellis, Phillips, offset to the left. And Ruba down to about to 1. Good play that time by Madison.
That was a nice defensive play. It must have been a linebacker that cut through there.
You can see, 21 it looks like. Lewis Wallace, 25.
51.
51, close enough. Davian Colley. Saints that time right up the middle, and I don't think they're in yet. That'll make it 3rd and about a football to go. Saints on the doorstep looking for the first score. 0-0 here as Saints are taking on the Madison Eagles. This close, you might see another quarterback sneak.
You may well see that. He is, as you mentioned, he's a big fella. He's a fullback who plays quarterback.
And there's no one over the center.
And he loves to run.
Out right up the middle. And Brendan Ruba. 1 yard touchdown, and Saints capitalize on a great punt return by Osterschweiger, and they lead 6-0. Just good
powerful line push, yeah. They just pushed they pushed Madison right into the end zone.
All right, now Donaldson. Schweiger, jack of all trades, actually the long snapper. And Brady Gleason is the holder. Donaldson, and it's through. That makes it 7-0. And that's a nice 3 excellent athlete combination there on the Saints place kicking.
Yes. Yep. That's what being a multi-sport athlete will get you. 3 of them right in a row there.
Now that was a nice start for St. Clair as they go down after the great punt return. Good defensive stand. Madison went backwards, and the Saints quickly out 7-0. And we talked about it last week, coaches. These teams have to travel a long way. If you can jump on them early, good things can happen.
Absolutely right. And I would imagine that they're stunned now, saying this doesn't happen to us. And obviously now it's already happened. But if the Saints can hold them this time without a touchdown, then all of a sudden the game is different than you hoped it would on the bus ride down here. Up here, whatever direction this is.
All right, again, as we mentioned, Sean Donaldson, number 9. And up to the ball. Wow, good high, deep punt. Kick, and that one just missed the corner. And that's going to bring a flag, and it'll be brought out to the 35. And what you're trying to do, obviously, is put the kick into the end zone and prevent a run back.
Yep.
And that one just went a little bit right. So much better field position. Again, very high, out of the screen, high. And a good play by the kick returner there as he elected not to run over to the ball. And see, it went out of bounds about 2 or 3 yard line. Madison quarterback, Armand Williams, a sophomore, will bring his team with a little bit more breathing room this time. Number 21, that's Lewis Wallace, is in the backfield with him. Hand off to Wallace, and he's got a little room.
He's a powerful runner.
It's about 4 yards out to close to the 40-yard line. That'll bring 2nd and 6. And this is pretty straightforward. He just gets hit pretty much on the line of scrimmage and uses his strength to move forward. Williams in a pistol. Throws back to pass. That one's on the outside, incomplete. It's a little bit behind the receiver that time. And number 12, that's not on our book, so we'll call him anonymous. 3rd down and about 6 to go.
Evan Kruski on the coverage that time.
Number 20, Jalen Logan out, split out wide right. Wallace again. Good strong run, and he's got some room. Right up the middle. Number 21, Wallace, and he's tackled by Kruski, but that was a good, strong run, and the Saints maybe overreacted a bit, Coach.
And that's what I mentioned about the skill position players. This is a run. He breaks a couple of tackles, and he not only is powerful, but he's really quick.
Very quick. Lewis Wallace is a senior running back and put together about a 20-yard gain now. Williams, bootleg left. He got about 2 or 3. Didn't really fool the Saints in that one. Sean Donaldson staying home along with, looked like Smith out there. That'll bring 2nd and about 7. Kind of a odd night. You can actually see some lightning flashing far to the southeast, and it's pleasant here, though. And the winds died down and turned out to be pretty nice after the storms earlier this evening. Wallace again cuts back, and he's got an opening, but the ball's there. And let's see. And I think that was popped up in the air after a good hit on Wallace, but Madison covered it. Let's see this here. And the handoff was never really clean. I'm sure he had a great, and that's a good play that time by, and the ball just kind of popped up. Number 36, I think, made the hit to cause a fumble, Gedeke. That'll be a first down, though.
Another powerful run.
And number 5, that's Anthony Fuller, and goes to his left. Didn't get much that time as he slipped making his cut. And then it'll be second down and 10. Six minutes left, first quarter. You're watching St. Clair Saints football here on Community Television CTV Channel 6. John Carter along with Denny White. Fuller remains in the backfield with Armand Williams. Number 2 is Antonio Haley on the wing. He goes in motion. Across the formation. Williams, good block. And Williams is corralled quickly by the Saints. Number 11, Jared Lenarski with a good play. And another hold called on the Eagles. Good block there by number 5, Fuller. But you see, the wide receiver had a hold of Lenarski.
Yeah.
And Jared broke away and made the tackle, but there are a number of flags flying there. The Saints have a little bit of a decision here as it could be third and about 9 or second and about 19. 2 calls, actually. There is illegal motion, and the Saints will accept the holding penalty, which is 10 yards back. And that'll make it second down now and about 20.
Duncan Gillis in the game for the Saints. This is his first game back after an injury.
And it's good to get some of these guys back as Duncan's an important part of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Williams. Back there with Fuller. Williams fades back. Has the time. The throw is on the sideline and knocked away nicely by Usher Schweiger, and that was well played. That's number 2 there, deep.
Great coverage.
Number 2
now
on number 2.
Now he closes when the ball's in the air. There.
Well, that's textbook, isn't it, Coach?
Nicely done.
And as you mentioned, Austin's a very good all-around athlete, and that play was really well done from a technical standpoint, let's call it.
Yep. Great coverage. That's the kind you show to the JV and say, this is how it's supposed to work.
It makes it third and 20. Again, Madison's operated a lot with these penalties. They've been behind the chains most of the night, and it's just difficult to convert long third downs. Williams. Haley in motion. Quick throw.
Nice.
Nice play, though, by, is that Donaldson?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Don't even need to see his number. Sean Donaldson really diagnosed that screen pass or that flank pass very quickly, swing pass, and he was all over that.
You know, there are times when you watch him that it's almost as if he lays back a little bit just to deke the quarterback into please throw it over here, and then bam, he closes.
Makes the play. We're assuming that Madison will go for this as they're not showing any punting. And let's see. Nope, they are dropping back. That's number 11, Corey Hanna. Saints were burned a couple times last week by fake punts, and let's see what happens here. Nope, he does punt. Good high punt. Fair catch called by Austin. He drops it, and that's picked up by Madison on about the 10-yard line.
Uh-oh.
Well, we've been singing his praises, but that one,
Yeah.
What happens sometimes, the ball gets into their pads. This is a good punt. High punt.
Yeah. And into the lights.
Into the lights, and calls a fair catch there.
He did it early enough. Yeah, it looked like it hit him high up on his pads.
The Eagles have the turnover on the Saints' 10-yard line. And the high snap, and that's also foul, but Williams covers as a little bit of a, you said they're going back and forth.
Yes. And here comes Logan Kleeman in. Says, oh, there's the ball.
Just and really he brushed it right back to him. There's nothing he can do. He's going full speed and does not expect the ball to come right back to him, but he brushed it back to Williams that time, and fortunate for Madison that Williams was able to cover it, but now they're second and goal to go from the 22. And that was, I think, motion. Yes. And Madison just having all kinds of trouble here.
Yeah.
What, fourth or fifth penalty, Coach?
Yep, and they're the mental penalties that you really try and stop early on. It's like the first game penalties.
All right, and after seeing that, Madison coach James Rogers decides he needs a timeout. And we mentioned a couple of big games tonight going on in the Max Silver. Marysville takes on Southlake. Marysville came back at the end of the game last week to knock off Madison 14-13, and they're looking to get to be 2-1. And then Marine City will take on Hazel Park. Hazel Park, I thought, showed pretty well last week against St. Clair, and they're not going to be a simple team to beat.
I thought that they did too. I thought that St. Clair did an excellent job holding their skill position players without they would make some runs, but then get tackled, and they'd back them up, and then they'd show that speed, and then they'd make a tackle and back them up.
Second down, 27 to go for a touchdown for Madison. See what the play is out of the timeout. Williams takes a snap. That was a good snap. Moves up, and he's eventually tackled by number 78, not Schweihofer, of the Lance variety. And this is just really good play here as Williams tries to shrug him off it, but Lance is just too strong with his hands and grabs a hold of the jersey and says, come here.
Yep, you're mine.
Yep. And Madison continues to move backward. Now it's 3rd and 29 from the 29. And it just wears on the team when you're continually this long to go on a third down. Williams takes a snap. Good defense again by St. Clair. That was number 23, Ethan White. And they'll make it 4th down and 29. Williams winds that up, lets it go, and this couldn't really have much of a look at that receiver there. He's well covered. That'll make it 4th and 29. And Williams will bring the Eagles up. Saints a little bit looser here. They got a long way to go. And essentially Madison has to score to continue the possession. Right down the middle. It's tipped and knocked down by St. Clair. And that'll be stoppage on downs. And the turnover from St. Clair does not hurt. They force the Madison Eagles backwards. And good job by the defense once again. And this is actually good that St. Clair did not catch this ball because you don't want to catch it.
That's right. That's right.
And fall down at the 8-yard line when you're 4th down. And I'm not sure defensive players think that way, but
they just see the ball and say, "I want that."
Yep. It'll be Saints 1st and 10 from their 29. Brady Gleason brings him up. And he rolls left. Gleason takes on a tackler, but a good play. That was number 60, Dakari Parrish for Madison. And Brady lowered his shoulder, but the defensive player made a good play.
Yeah, I thought the other one was he dropped back to pass and ran. But this was a run right from the very beginning.
And that replay is the previous play where we had the turnover, but Saints have it second at 9 on just over the 30-yard line. Gleason fades back. Has some time. Over the middle. Oh, he had Lenarski who had a step on his player, but just too far. And that falls incomplete. Jarrett had a step. That's number 11 there. He breaks past his man and just out of reach.
Yep.
Down to a minute 25 first quarter. Saints now face a 3rd and 9. Schweiger split left. Gleason back. Under pressure and
Nope.
throws it to the sideline, incomplete. And that was kind of a single pattern, and Madison double covered number 2, Schweiger, and wasn't really anywhere to go.
No, it's a good thing you got that out of bounds, too.
Yes. All right, 4th down, and Lenarski will drop back to punt. And good defensive stand that time by Madison. Lenarski gets the punt away quickly and booms it. Look at this. That is a tremendous punt under pressure.
To the 5.
To the 5-yard line.
That.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Really good special teams play. And watch this, Coach. Well, I didn't really see it there. They rushed him hard.
They did, yep.
And he just
And it just keeps going.
nailed it over the head of the receiver and just rolled down dead at the 5-yard line. You can't draw that up any better. Huge play, and give Jared Lenarski credit. That was big. That's like a turnover, really.
It absolutely is, yes.
Madison, again, backed up.
You're going to talk about flipping the field.
Yes, exactly. Because they would normally assume they'd get the ball on the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
And they don't. So Saints go back on defense. Mentioned up front, Josh Schmidt, Lance, and Max Schweihofer are the down linemen. It's been Herbert, Gedke, Phillips, and Donaldson at linebacker, and then Lenarski, White, Austin Schweiger, and number 1, Evan Kruski as the deep backs. And I think
Timeout again.
another timeout for Madison. So one of the things I think that you mentioned in the startup was that last week the Saints really ran the ball well, and a heavy diet of Brendan Ruba kind of switched around tonight.
Yes, it looks like their original plan tonight is they're trying to throw the ball, or they're trying to get Brady to run it, which really isn't a plan, I don't think.
And you want to show, I mean, obviously you want to be diverse, and certainly the Saints have shown they can both run and pass, but it's a little odd because Brendan was really good last week.
Yep.
All right, here comes Saints and Eagles back on the field. Just over a minute to play. First quarter, Saints are ahead, 7-0. Madison on their own 5-yard line. 1st and 10. Quarterback number 3. No, new quarterback. Number 10 is Dylan Brown. And
Nope, not going there.
Not much running space there is Wallace taken down by Smith, and I believe that might have been Phillips. Let's see. Smith for sure. And Schweiger's there, and good play, though, by the St. Clair defense, right-hand side of the defensive line. 2nd and 10 on the 5-yard line. Brown. And he slips, and the Saints have it, I think. At least that's what they're signaling. Let's see what the call is. There's a fumble on the ground. And let's see what the referee signals. And it'll be the Eagles' ball still. And that's the third time the Eagles have put the ball on the ground, and they've recovered each one so far, but that's not what you want to do long term. And Saints are indicating they had it, but I think the Eagles fell on it fortuitously again. And that will be the end of the first quarter as the Saints lead 7-0. And the Eagles back up on their 1 yard line. We'll switch ends of the field, and let's turn over to our sponsors for a word from them.
Murphy Inn, restaurant, Spirits, hotel, all in St. Clair. Before or after the game, stop at Murphy Inn. Different specials every day. Happy hour 2 to 6 daily and 7 vintage hotel rooms. Half off large pizza every Monday, karaoke on Wednesday and Saturday, live music on Thursday and Friday. Murphy Inn has private dining area for showers and family parties. Murphy Inn, restaurant, Spirits, hotel in St. Clair since 1836.
Well, welcome back, everyone. John Carter along with Coach Denny White. Saints lead 7-0 over Madison. And, Coach, you made the point. The scoreboard doesn't really reflect how well the Saints played in the first quarter.
Right. I think that the Saints were really dominant in the whole quarter, and it's not reflected on the scoreboard. But as long as they keep that dominance up, then good things are going to happen. The breaks are going to go their way. And Madison is a good team. And like I mentioned, has really speedy skill position players.
All right, number 3, Armin Williams back in for Madison. 3rd down, 13 from the right about the 2 yard line. And again, Williams standing in the end zone. He takes a snap, pitches it. Fuller, and he's got speed. And all the way out to the 30-yard line. Number 5, Anthony Fuller. And he got outside and broke contain.
Yep, that's the speed we talked about from their skill position players.
I thought the Saints had a shot at him possibly in the end zone, but
right there,
and just couldn't quite make the play. And he breaks through, and arm tackles won't stop him. Good play again by number 2, Austin Schweiger, to stop Fuller as he crosses the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Madison, and really that's been their offense. Two big runs, one by Fuller, one by Williams, and that play is bottled up very quickly. Schweiger, Kruski, and Smith again, and Fuller gets about a hard yard. Well, that's the right-hand side of the Saints line here is just not a lot of penetration. And
nice gang tackle. And that's the domination I was talking about. That they can break a play, but then the next few, they hold them right there. And
there certainly hasn't been any consistent success on offense. Now, they gave him 3 yards on that play, so 2nd down and 7. Madison on their own 33. They broke out from a really tough situation and right near the goal line. Williams at quarterback. Number 2, Antonio Haley, flanked out. That ball's on the ground again. Covered by number 1, Mekhi Johnson. And it just, the ball handling is just loose, for want of a better word.
And Josh Schmidt right there again.
Yeah, and Josh Schmidt's there. And I don't necessarily want to blame the quarterback without thinking or without knowing, but if you got a sophomore quarterback, you normally think it's going to be him as opposed to veteran running backs. And that time he just didn't get turned around quick enough. All right, that makes it 3rd and about 12, a loss of about 5 yards that time. And Madison's had more than its share of 3rd and long so far, but they've broken a couple plays on this, so Saints have to be aware. Williams under center. And again, another pitch. This time bottled up nicely by the Saints. Antonio Haley, nowhere to go. And that's a very similar play that they ran out of the end zone, and that time the Saints did not get turned and set a hard edge.
Yep, when the defensive end contains like he's supposed to, then there's no space in there, and you drive them back inside, and that's where all your help is.
And you see good job that
Good
time by the
inside.
defensive
Yep.
end, and
There they are.
gang tackled. Number 11, Corey Hanna. Lily punting. Schweiger back for the punt. Snap's good. And a good punt. That one's a little low. And a big bouncer down inside the 30-yard line, all the way to about the 26. Nice job by Corey Hanna that time, and he flips field position as well. And once that ball bounced, and it was too short for Austin to come up and get, if it hits the right way, it's going to bounce, and you don't want to try to pick that up. And I expect the ball probably a little bit moist.
I would
sure
think
the
that it
field
would be,
is still
definitely.
wet from the rain we had earlier, and that's just don't want to chance it. All right, Matt Buslip flanked out wide right. Ruba, single setback, and he's got the ball going left, and nice play by Madison defensive line. Number 2, Antonio Haley, makes a stop on Brendan Ruba. Kind of looks like we're running into the strength of that defense there. They had a few more people on that side than we did.
You're right. They had us outnumbered because you had someone that wasn't covered, accounted for.
Gleason, quick handoff, and Ruba again stopped after a very short gain. That'll make it third and about 8 yards, I think, 7 yards. And good defensive play that time by the interior of the Madison line, number 52, Ronell Horn.
That's a stout side over there.
That's correct. And as we mentioned, the Saints not having the same kind of success running the ball that they had last week. Brady Gleason back. Rolls right. Has some time. Nice throw. And Schweiger with the catch. And that's enough for a first down. Really nice timing that time between Gleason and Schweiger.
I think they may have done that a few times. There he cuts in. Here he comes.
And squares
Cuts
off
it
that
short.
route nicely.
Very nice, yep.
Gets his feet in bounds. That was well done. First and 10 for the Saints on their own 43. 7 minutes left, second quarter. Saints up 7-0. Phillips in motion. And Ruba again tied up.
Not going on that side.
Good play to the interior of the line. Number 50, Max Burke here gets low and makes a nice play. And you mentioned this Madison line, they're not as tall perhaps, but there's some stout players in there.
They're solid. They're definitely solid.
And that play was simply made by getting your pads underneath the other guy's pads. Second down, 9. Gleason again in the pistol. Donaldson in motion. Now Schweiger. Gleason rolls to his right. Up ahead and just out of the reach of Donaldson. And I think there were too many people in the same location that time.
I think so.
Gleason will roll right. See a lot of motion this way. And you see there's a number of receivers for Saints right next to each other, and that is not ideally what you want.
Yep. That's usually an indication that somebody's either run the wrong route or cut it a little too short.
Well, makes it third down, 9. And Madison's gotten tougher on defense after that first drive.
Have. Absolutely.
And the Saints themselves have been facing third and long here the last couple of times. Gleason. And
there you go. That worked.
Drew him outside. That's a veteran quarterback play there, and you'll see that hand clap. And I know there's been some controversy about it, but it's allowed in high school and college football.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And that time that hand clap drew the Madison team offside. Yep. You see that about 3 or 4 of them moved almost simultaneously. All right, now it makes it much more manageable. 3rd and 4. Gleason drops back. And down the middle, just over the head of Schweiger. He had some open people, but this did not have quite enough time. Cut block that time by St. Clair, and that'll just couldn't. And you see, no one near Schweiger, but throwing that way under duress to your left, and it was a moot point anyways because of the cut block. So now the Madison Eagle coach, James Rogers, has a decision, and he's going to send the Saints back. It would have been 4th and 4.
I think this is a good decision. I think it's different than what you would normally expect, but I think he's so happy with how his defense is playing now that he's willing to give St. Clair another shot at it.
And certainly buying some field position. That was essentially a 20-yard penalty because of where it occurred. Gleason low snap and rolls to his right. It's open. Schweiger, great catch. And down to about the 46-yard line of Madison, but there's a penalty on the play, and it's a legal procedure against the Saints. And I'm not sure they didn't call 2 claps on that one. Beautiful catch here by Schweiger. Great throw by Gleason. But there was illegal procedure by the Saints, and it's 2 penalties in a row, and the Saints now kind of emulated Madison earlier in the game.
This is uncharacteristic for the Saints.
That was a successful play that was called back that time, and too bad. So it'll be 3rd and essentially forever. 3rd and 28. Saints will break it. Ruba back in the backfield. Gleason in the pistol. And he throws it to his left. Open is Schweiger. And he makes the catch. At the 50, beautiful throw and catch by Gleason and Schweiger.
Great catch.
Watch this throw, because this, again, is under duress. Just perfectly led, because he was well covered.
Yes.
All right, now Saints have a decision. It'll be 4th down and about 2.5 for a first down, and the Saints, I think, wisely called timeout, Coach.
They're going to take a timeout and talk about it.
So from a coach's standpoint, I'm assuming you have plays you put in place for a week that you think are going to be good for these types of situations.
Yes, you do. And Coach Gary Griffin has them all plotted, and he knows the down and distance with the time, and then he chooses from that list.
So we have to see. Saints have been more successful throwing than running today, and we'll have to see if they decide to go with that quick pass perhaps and get a first down. If they do, it'll be quite an accomplishment from where they started, because that was a 3rd and 28 play, 25 yards from Gleason to Schweiger, and the Saints now with a manageable 4th and about 2.5 or 3 yard line, or 3 yards. All right, we see Ruba. Ellis is in for Luke Ellis for fullback. Might indicate a running play. Let's see. Quickly to the line. Gleason. And calls time. They're actually going to try to drive him off sides again.
Yep.
And did not work. Madison had more discipline that time. So now it'll be 4th and 3. And let's see what they elect to do. Looks like they're going to send up the punting team. Lenarski on the field. Jared will be the punter, and electing to defend and go with field position.
Well, and I think the domination that we talked about in the first quarter, if this were the first quarter and the situation were the same, I think they would go for it. But I think they've been struggling since the first quarter, and therefore this is a wise decision.
And plus Saints do get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
Yep.
And coaches certainly think about those sorts of things before they make these decisions. So look for Lenarski to try to pin Madison back. punt. And that was kind of that rugby-style kick you see, and it worked out very nicely again. Lenarski with a second punt inside the 10-yard line. That's outstanding. And what I mean by that is, if you see, he kind of goes to his right a little bit, and that's a purposeful kind of punt. They're trying to keep it low, get it on the ground, and have it roll. You see the Australian punters that they've been recruiting a lot, and they use that technique, and it's really there's no way to return it.
Yeah, it's a rugby thing, right?
Right, and if they get it right, it'll just roll for a long way, and that one did.
Well, whoever the Saints kicking coach is, he deserves a lot of credit.
Or it could be that both Jared and Sean played a lot of soccer growing up too.
Or that's probably it.
Unless you don't happen to be the kicking coach. Do you?
No, it's not me. I don't know that they have one. That's why I kind of said it like that.
Now, Madison again backed up inside their 10. 4 minutes, 29 seconds left. Saints lead 7-0. Williams, handoff. And hard run by Fuller. He's not
Still
going
fighting.
down easily, but just met by the veritable plethora of Saints. Williams, and that's deep back Fuller. And he starts to go to his right, moves it back to the left. Donaldson's there, gets through there, but and then there's just too many people.
Yep.
Going to give him a gain of 1, maybe 2nd and 9 from the 11.
As we've talked about before, if you're a corner guy and you can turn him in, slow him down and turn him in, then help's coming. The cavalry is on its way.
Williams under center. Fuller again going to the right, and he got a nice little gain that time, 4 or 5 yards it looks like, but a penalty flag. And that's going to be a face mask against the Saints. I saw one of the Madison players lost their helmet, and normally what happens is you're trying to fend off a block, and your hand gets up into a face mask and gets tangled. And again, big penalty for St. Clair. And as you mentioned, Coach, they've had more than their share so far this evening.
Uncharacteristic.
Mason Spezia in for Austin Schweiger. 3 minutes, 23 seconds left. 1st and 10 for Madison. They're taking their time. Plenty of time left in the first half. Number 6 is DeMarco Vaughn to the left here. And a quick handoff and nowhere to go.
Yep, that's what we're after.
And that was number 79, Max Zweihofer, and that was just good run defense. Emblematic of Snacks Harrison, right, for the Lions, but nice play by Zweihofer inside and shrugged off his block, and there was nowhere to go. 2nd and 10 for Madison. Good play that time by, who was that, number 26? That was Spezia.
Mason Spezia. Yep.
Yeah, quickly recognized the run by Johnson. And
if you watch this replay, Sean Donaldson turns him in right there, and then there.
Good play. Good play by the Saints. Makes it 3rd and 11.
The Saints have great pursuit, team pursuit.
A lot of quickness, particularly at the linebacker and defensive back. Williams under center. Fades back to pass. Looking deep. Underthrown and picked off.
Lenarski.
Great play by Jared Lenarski, and he's putting his mark on this game.
Yes, definitely has.
Now you lose sight of him. He's up the top end of the screen, and Lenarski sees a pass underthrown and cuts it off. Beautiful play. Again, textbook.
Absolutely. And with the payoff at the end.
Well, Jerry gets to play a down of offense for making the good defensive play. And always makes him happy, I'm sure. Nope, he didn't. He thought he was in.
He tried. He tried.
All right, Saints. More or less a full house backfield, and Ruba. And he gets about 4 hard-fought yards that time. Saints down to 1:27. They've got 2 timeouts left. And Ruba, you can see, not a lot of room, but he's fighting for everything. Gets it out to the 45. Bo Becker, number 14 in the game for the first time. Second down and 6. Saints quickly to the line. Gleason. Ruba. And nowhere to go. Good defensive play again. I'm trying to see what that is as he gets up. That was number 6, I think, DeMarco Vaughn, and that's good defensive play right there because Ruba had a full head of steam and ended up going backwards. Looks like you're going to give him credit for a yard, but Saints going to not really managing the clock. They're just going to look like let this go and get into the locker room with the lead. Gleason down to 22 seconds. Takes a snap. Ruba, good move, and gets out to about the 49-yard line, but another good defensive play by Madison. And you can see makes one man miss, but number 1 and number 2 are there for the tackle. And that's going to be the end of the first half. And, Coach, kind of obviously a low-scoring 1-yard touchdown run from Ruba, but after a great punt return by Schweiger, but that's it.
Yeah, I thought the domination we spoke about at the end of the first quarter was certainly not present in the second quarter, and Madison certainly came on. If it was lethargy from their bus trip, they've gotten over it.
Well, good game here going on tonight at St. Clair's. Saints up 7-0, and we'll be back in just a moment with the second half.
North Star Bank, your local community bank serving St. Clair, Sanilac, Huron, and Washtenaw counties. When you need a local community bank for home loans, checking, savings, and other banking needs, North Star Bank is the community bank that you want to deal with. The bank that will take care of all your personal and business needs. North Star Bank has a new mobile application that you can download to make banking even easier. North Star Bank, guiding the way. Member FDIC.
The choice is yours at St. Clair Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Choose better service. Choose more for your trade. Because we really do care in St. Clair.
Choose a better car buying experience at St. Clair Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, where you'll get all your rebates and the lowest price.
For the best selection and the very best service, get to the people who care.
They really do care in St. Clair.
We are St. Clair County's highest volume dealer. Just minutes from everywhere.
Neiman's Family Market. Experience the Neiman's family difference. Fresh fruits and vegetables, where Michigan-grown products are featured daily. Local is more than what Neiman's sells. It's who they are. From Grandpa John's quality meats since 1952, featuring a complete meat and deli department, to Grandma Sophie's Bakery, to the Corner Cafe. That's what Neiman's Family Market is. Experience the Neiman family